This isn't just for this occasion. I wear them on a regular basis.
He's our North Pole industrial specialist.
McLaren.
McLaren.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see you driving one of those.
Yeah, that'll be slick. That'll be slick.
Grandma, can you make us some banana bread, please?
Please, Grandma. Please, Grandma. We like banana bread. Welcome to our holiday special, Straight Up Big Ideas with Dave Howard. I have 4 of our associates who have been with the program less than 2 years now, and we're very excited to have this. They all are outstanding individuals. They started with Lee & Associates in the Junior Associate program, and why don't we get right into it and introduce yourselves. Harrison, why don't you start off?
Yeah, so I'm Harrison Tuck. I'm originally from Greensboro, North Carolina. I started with Lee in August of 2023. I did 6 months in the JA program and have now been a broker for coming up on 2 years in February.
Great. Will.
Will Ewell. I joined here September 2022, and I've been here for about 3 years, and I've been a broker for about 2, and I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
Great. Sal.
Hey, my name's Sal Estrada. I'm with Lee & Associates. I started in January, moved here from Portland, Oregon.
January of this year.
January of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Did the JA program for 6 months, and I'm in my 6th month, getting into my 6th month as an official broker. And I love it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Court?
I'm Court Blunt. I'm from Atlanta. I started in the Junior Associate program in 2024, and past year has been my first year in brokerage, and Sal couldn't have said it better. Love it. Excited to keep moving on.
Great. Well, I certainly can see you're in the holiday spirit with the lights hanging all over you. It's kind of mesmerizing me here.
This isn't just for this occasion. I wear them on a regular basis.
Uh-huh. And you're
Got Davis right here.
Davis, and what does Davis do for the firm?
He's our North Pole industrial specialist.
Okay.
So he's up there.
He's doing a lot of deals right now.
He's
Getting
been
ready
quiet for the
for
past
Christmas.
couple hundred years, but he's got sublease coming up.
And
So
what about you? Where's yours?
I got Santa right here himself. Just keeping it real, holding it down. So
Ho, ho, ho.
ho ho ho. Yeah.
All right. And you, sir?
Yeah, I'm just representing for the few Jewish members of our community here at Lee & Associates that we've got.
Awesome. Well, I have my Tommy Bahamas Christmas shirt that I wear every year. I actually have 5 or 6. So as you all know, I kind of wear them sporadically during December. I like it. Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Good.
It's you.
Good. Well, we have some questions. We want to make this light. It's not heavy. There's nothing about Christmas that we think is heavy. We want to enjoy the month of December, and part of it is just talking about maybe some holiday things and also just your experience and what you've been through so far at Lee & Associates. So I think I'm going to start with the calls from our viewers. We have viewers throughout the United States and actually worldwide as well. And they all give us some questions. So these 3 people asked some questions. So it's kind of for all of you guys. Lisa from Costa de Casa, California. What is your favorite holiday song? Court.
What's that Mariah Carey one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What I want for Christmas
That was
is
mine.
you.
100%, hands down.
That's it?
Yeah.
Can you sing it?
I don't think you want that.
Okay. No, we don't. Harrison.
I am partial to Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song.
Ah. With the guitar?
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
And you don't want me to sing that either.
You don't want to sing
I
it?
would not do it justice.
Okay. What about you?
I gotta go with the classic Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells.
It's a classic. I'm more of a classic guy.
You're a classic guy?
Yeah.
And what about you, Sal?
Jingle bells.
Jingle Bells too?
Yeah, yeah.
No Silent Night here? That's my favorite.
They're just
Silent Night.
Davis said that earlier.
Well, Davis had a good point. Jingle bells is.
Well, I haven't heard Davis talk yet.
He's a little shy.
Okay. Number 2, you ready? Brooke from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If you could pick any car you wanted, what would it be? Any car that you wanted, what would it be? Money's no object.
McLaren.
McLaren.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see you drive one of those.
Yeah, that'd be slick. That'd be
Uh-huh.
slick.
All right.
Mhm.
What about you?
I got to go with my screensaver, the Porsche
Porsche
GT3 RS. Yeah.
GT3 RS.
Yes.
What's the RS stand for?
I don't even know, honestly. I just like the
Rally
car.
Sport.
I like, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you?
I would have to say a 1978 Jaguar convertible. My grandfather had one of those most of my life, and I got to drive it a few times, so I love that car. So
Still around?
still around, still around.
Well, maybe one day you'll have it.
Maybe so.
You
but
need to tell him
I'm
that.
gonna have to fight a few people for that one.
Nice.
But
Great car.
I love that car.
And you?
I'd probably have to go with kind of a cliche answer, but just a vintage Bronco.
Mine? Dang. I've had a lot of cars. I've had 140 cars in my life. So I would probably say, yeah, I've never had a vintage Bronco. That would be really cool with a V8 in it.
Yeah, yeah, fully rebuilt.
A resto mod. Yeah. All right. Good questions. Next, ready? DJ from Albany, New York. What eras of the decades in the 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s would you want to grow up in and why? So if you had your choice of the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, what era would you have wanted to grow up in and why? Let's start off with you.
70s.
Why?
Because I always kind of thought, growing up, how my parents did, kind of think it was a cool day and age to grow up. Walking over to your buddy's house to go knock on the door to hang out as opposed to calling or whatever else. I just think it's, it creates a different dynamic, and I think it helps, especially kids, grow up to be more social, which I think a lot of us nowadays kind of lose, or a lot of the new generation loses that aspect of growing up. And I just think it would have been cool to grow up.
Okay, 70s. What about you?
I think I'd probably say the 60s. And I'd say the 60s, again, going back to a family reason, I think it'd be really cool to have seen the way my grandparents lived when they were a little younger than us, around our age. And also, like, if I could take myself and put myself there while they were there to know them as younger people, I think that'd be really cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
The 60s.
Yeah, I think that'd be an interesting time to live.
Okay. What about you?
Probably the 70s. My parents grew up in the 70s, and my dad has plenty of stories to tell about when he was a kid. So, plenty of wild stories, and there weren't phones, and you could do kind of whatever you wanted. But
Well, you really did do. I did. My one requirement is I had to be home for dinner by 6 p.m. The rest of the day, my mom and dad never knew where I was. I was all over the place, riding my bikes with my friends at their house. Just, we never had any tracking devices or anything on us. We just did our thing. And so I think it made us more street smart, more aware of the world versus maybe the generation of today. So good answers. You?
70s as well.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like what Will and Corey were kind of getting on in yourself of just kind of people being more together, and kind of like the classic thing when the street lights go out, that's when you know to go home. And the time between that, no one knows. You know where your friends are by how many bikes are outside of the house and that sort of thing. So I'd go with the 70s for that
right.
reason.
Okay, so 70s is kind of the consensus. Well, those are all good questions from the viewers, don't you think? All right, round one. It's not a boxing match. The court. What made you decide to get into real estate, commercial real estate? I know you interviewed with 47 real estate offices before you picked League and Associates, which is, I think, a record for anybody.
It was just going around and having coffees with folks. And I always knew that I liked real estate, always knew that I loved, I grew up in Atlanta, always loved geography. So I just felt like it was natural to get in and start talking with folks. And just the more I learn, there's unlimited potential. Being able to get out, control your own schedule, and be a master.
Control your own destiny.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Will?
I like the entrepreneurship aspect of it too. I kind of grew up. My dad's an entrepreneur. My grandpa was too, and kind of seeing what they did, I knew I wanted to kind of get into sales, and I wanted to be around people and I like tangible items, so I kind of, I wanted to go more towards the real estate route. And, I had a family friend who was also in real estate back where I'm from in Dayton, and I kind of picked that up from him and went from there. So I did a lot of
And you
talking.
came here.
I came here. I wanted to move to a growing city, and this was one of them. So
Great. Sal?
Yeah, so I had a sales background before, and a lot of the different groups and brokerage firms I'd sell my copier machines to, or phones, or IT, or whatever I was selling at the time, were telling me I need to get into brokerage. But they're like, give it some time, get a good nest egg, then jump into it. And my buddy mentioned he's going to move to Atlanta, and he's the one that got me into the sales role in general. So I was like, I'm gonna go out with you, see what it's like. Um, met you.
Yeah,
Met,
you just popped up
I
in
just
our
came
front
in.
door.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Met the team at Lee. I had other interviews set up, and I was like, this is the place I need to be. So I like the way you guys hold people accountable. You keep score. The relationships I've made here have been great. And at that point, I was like, I don't need to interview anywhere else. I'm gonna be here. So
Nice.
yeah.
All right.
I remember when you came in, and I think he does too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he
you just showed up,
remembers.
and then yeah, and then you kept following up, and I mean, I thought that was actually a damn cool way to
Thank you.
get
Yeah.
get started.
It was a classic for sure.
Yeah.
Harrison?
Yeah, so it's kind of real estate's kind of in my blood a little bit. You could say my grandfather was in construction his whole life. My uncle and my dad followed in his footsteps in the same way, and sort of a pretty young age, I was around it all the time. That was the topic of conversation at most family dinners. Most of the time, whenever we saw each other, they were talking about deals or construction projects, whatever it was. And so I always knew that was the route I wanted to go in, one way, shape, or form, just not which way yet.
And you grew up where?
In Greensboro, North Carolina.
So you decided to stay in or come to Atlanta as well.
Yeah, so I went to UGA, got a degree in real estate, and then decided that this was the best place for me to I guess, spread my wings and learn how to do the job. And so been here ever since, and it's been awesome.
So what, this kind of getting off topic, but I think it's kind of important. What was the glue or what made you all decide that this, Lee and Associates in Atlanta, was the place for you to start your careers?
I think I touched on that a bit, just with our interview process and being able to call Will, getting a meeting with him, being able to meet Court, just even through passing in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
He was super helpful. He was super helpful. And just that, I'd say that culture that you guys had here,
Mm-hmm.
just from that simple interaction I had with these two guys, then meeting you, I was like, I want to be a part of this team. I want to be able to grow the culture and interact with my peers in the same way. So it felt like a no-brainer. And I interviewed at other spots and had, again, other interviews coming up. And it just felt like, I guess I wouldn't say family, but you guys this is all I got here.
Right.
I'm from Portland, so I see you guys every day. You guys are the team I interact with. So
And we keep you accountable.
and that one too.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
Yeah.
Good. You?
I like the training program aspect of it too.
Mhm.
It's hard for a guy right out of college that doesn't know much about commercial real estate.
Were we hard on you?
Very hard, very, very hard on me. But that's kind of, how I got to the point where I'm at today is, guys were hard on me, but, we're open to questions and open to answering anything that I had, thoughts about or, where my future was going to be because I was so unsure of where I would be at in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
I'm still not at my 5-year mark, but that is something that, I was worried about when I first started or, I had thoughts about it, but, just the whole culture of the office too. You can go into anyone's office and ask questions. Everyone's so open, and it's just like pretty much we're all friends. So that's what drew me to Lee.
Good. You too?
I mean, they covered a lot of what it was for me too, but I think the freedom we have here, as opposed to maybe some other shops and other parts of the real estate industry. I mean, I personally am I specialize in industrial tenant rep and investment sales in Northeast Atlanta, so up 85 North.
Yeah.
And if tomorrow I decided, hey, I want to do medical office and work with Sal and Matt, I'd have to talk to them about it first, but more likely than not, I could just make the transition. At a lot of other places, you don't have that kind of freedom. So I think that's something that's great because you get to pave your way and do what you want to do, and as long as you're being successful.
Well, you're accountable to yourself. right?
Exactly. Which like I said, I don't think you get a lot of other places.
And lastly,
Well, I think they all touched on, the hit points. But it's kind of like you were saying originally, I met with a lot of folks and, there were some great shops out there, but the moment that I came in here, I walked down the hallway and everybody that I met, it's just the culture that you want to be a part of. I mean, you're with these people, we're working long hours a lot of the time. You're with these people more often than not. And you want to make sure that they're the people that you want to spend that much time with. I mean, whether you're working or not, you want to be around folks that you want to go grab a beer with.
absolutely. So culture is a big part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
You got to have the vibe going on,
Yeah.
and everybody's got to be held accountable because that pushes you to be better.
Yeah.
Because we all can be better. We
Yeah.
just sometimes we need a nudge from others,
Yeah.
including myself. Right? Will, why'd you move here from Dayton, Ohio?
I was looking at growing or markets that were growing, and it kind of drew me to the southeast.
So you went to college in Dayton.
I did go to college in Dayton. Yep, I graduated in 2022 with a sales background, sales major, and I was looking here. I was looking Austin, Dallas, Miami, kind of just growing cities here in the southeast, and I kind of made it my thought as this would be an investment for me for the future.
And do you like it?
I love it. Yeah, I couldn't be in a happier place. Being able to, I didn't really know much about Atlanta moving down here, but I've learned so much, and
And is it a good place for young people to
absolutely,
come and live? And there's plenty of things to do in Atlanta.
yeah, absolutely. And I think there's so much growth to be had here. And we're not landlocked, or we're landlocked. We're not near the ocean. There's so much expansion that can still go on here in Atlanta. And there's so many exciting projects in and around the area that will help develop more growth here in the area. So
Definitely think it's going to continue to grow in the future for sure. And you moved from Portland,
Yeah.
not knowing anybody.
Nobody.
And just because your friend said, "Hey, I'm going to Atlanta," you just said, "Well, I'll just go with you and check it out."
That was basically.
There was no other city or place you were. This is just happenstance.
Yeah.
And what do you think of it?
I love it. It's a challenge getting used to the environment, but I signed up for a challenge. I wanted that, and I love it. Kind of the things Will was talking about. Couldn't think of another spot to be at, and it's fun. It's fun to learn and figure out a new environment. So it keeps me on my toes. So
All right. What what has been the hardest part of your first year?
The pace. I mean, you're fast paced and trying to build prospects and build deals, but they're slow moving. I mean, you have to have patience in this, and I'll be the first one to admit that I struggle with having patience with certain things sometimes, and that's the biggest thing that you got to learn.
Because the process takes longer than you thought.
I mean, no, it's not necessarily than I thought. It's what everyone preaches. It's a long time. It takes 2 to 3 years to really get going. But you always expect. Look,
You're going to be the one.
yeah, but I'm going to be the one. It's gonna be better.
I
it's
thought
part
that
of the
too.
business.
When I
It takes a
started,
while.
and I definitely wasn't the one.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years.
Exhibit A. But we're building it up, and I mean, I 100% can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. And I mean, yeah, I think
So
having
part of it
patience
is just sticking with it.
biggest point. Yeah, sticking with it and being able to
Patience,
take
sticking
the
with
patience
it,
and-
learning, know your business.
I think that's the other thing is learning from every little step that you go through in this process because every single situation is different, but every single situation you can learn from is applicable to the next one. So I think building on that, it helps you achieve where you want to be faster.
Wow, that's a lot.
Just get deep.
Yeah, you went deep real fast.
See, I changed
You
the
lost
lights.
me
I
there
changed the
for a
lights.
minute.
And
You better turn those lights back on.
I just need to go chaos again.
What about you? First year, Harrison.
For me, it was
Was it hard for you your first year here? Or was it pretty easy?
business, personally, or both.
Both.
I would say both were not what I expected. I had enough exposure to other brokers in Atlanta who had told me what to expect. You've got to make a ton of phone calls. You've got to pound the sand. You've got to be out there working hard every single day. So that I had, but it's the discipline to make sure that you can do it every single day that I think surprised me.
The self-discipline.
Yeah, the self discipline, because there wasn't anybody behind me, beside me, or in front of me who was going to say, "Why didn't you make X amount of calls today?" I had to do that for myself. So that was one thing that was hard. And then, you know, Greensboro's not a small town by any means, but it's a lot smaller than Atlanta. And then I went to school in Athens, which is a big school in a small town.
Right.
And I think moving to a town of what, almost 6.5 million now, is it's change. And so I think my first year was just getting used to being around a lot more people and being that much more social, even just like going on a walk outside my apartment building when I moved here. I mean, I probably saw more people on those walks than I did in a full day in high school.
And I think you're much more confident now compared to your first year.
I mean, I do remember very well. I came in probably more confident than I should have been, and very quickly that kind of went down, as it probably should have, because I needed to be brought down a peg or two or three or maybe more than that. And that's the other great thing about Lee is, you know, I got brought down and then everyone here helped me build it back up. And so it was a tough year, but I'm better for it.
Good.
It's humbling.
Humbling. Will, when was your aha moment as it pertains to learning the commercial real estate business? What was that moment where you're like, oh, okay, I finally am getting this?
There wasn't really an aha moment. There wasn't one moment per se. There's been things that, my first year I didn't really know. People would mention, something like a definition, or they'd mention a word and I'd have no idea, what it meant or what was going on. And, starting to get activity on the leasing and sales end towards the, start of my career, that gave me a lot more confidence to be where I'm at today. But those sales and leases, after 6 or 7 or 8 months of working, I guess that would be somewhat of an aha moment for me. Is
It started coming together. The knowledge was there. You understood the terms. You understood the process better.
it gave me the confidence that I needed to.
Right. Because you were right out of college when you joined us. So again, like Harrison, you need to develop that confidence in yourself. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been here a year almost.
Yeah.
And is there any aha moments for you? Or are you still going through it?
Still going through it. I think the biggest ones, like the patience you need to have, is a big one that's kind of like just hitting me in the face. But
Because if you're selling copiers, it's kind of
30-day, 90-day sales cycle.
right.
And with this, it's a lot
Takes some
longer.
time.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
I closed my first investment deal on Thanksgiving, so I'd say that kind of gave me some confidence, but it's still a long ways to go. So I'm still going through it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I didn't hear you ring the bell. Did you ring the bell?
I don't think so.
Did not ring the bell?
Not
You
too
should,
far.
you should probably ring the bell now.
No, he can't. He's got to sit right here. But afterwards, he will. All right. Harrison, what's your favorite place to be during the holidays?
I like going home. Part of this self-discipline thing, I think my mom would fight me on this, is that I kind of have a sense of responsibility to be here so I can work. And so when
Well,
it's my business Inc., as
Yeah.
you always tell us. And so when it gets to a point in the year where it's, a slowdown point, whether that be the 4th of July, whether that be Thanksgiving or Christmas, I've always thought that that's the time you should spend with your family anyways. And my family doesn't live in Atlanta yet, unfortunately. So I try to take that time and go back to Greensboro and see my parents, see my grandparents, my cousins, aunts,
Oh,
uncles.
that's great.
everybody.
And you should.
Yeah, it's always recharging when you take a week after 6 months without seeing them. It's always great.
What about you?
I head back to Dayton.
Back to date?
Yeah.
Is it colder up there?
It's freezing. It was snowing up there. I went up there for Thanksgiving. I usually go back there Thanksgiving, Christmas, and my parents and family sometimes visit me down here. But yeah, that's my home, and probably forever will be. My from area.
Well, you're from
So,
there. You're
yeah.
not going to be from
Yeah, exactly.
somewhere
Yeah.
else.
But I feel if I'm living here for like 10 or 15
I was
years.
born in Dayton, but I'm from Pittsburgh,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Um,
Okay, so Dayton's your home.
it is. Yep.
Okay. And do you go back to Portland?
Yeah, I was just there for Thanksgiving. I'll be back there in 3 weeks for Christmas.
Is it raining?
Yeah, it's like this.
It's cloudy all the
Yeah,
time?
it's like this all the time, but with rain. I like it though. It's good work weather, so it doesn't bug me.
And then you're local.
Well, I was local.
Oh.
My parents moved out towards Lake Oconee.
But that's still local.
Yeah,
It's an
so-
hour,
yeah, it's
hour and a
easy.
half
It's easy.
away.
Yeah.
So you go to Lake Oconee,
Hmm.
which is a very large lake outside of Atlanta. And a lot of people have second homes or even full-time residents there now with lots of golf.
Yeah, lots of golf.
Okay. So, what was the worst part of the JA program? The JA program is the Junior Associates program, which you all started in before you became associates.
Well, I thought the presentations were going to be easy. They're like, you get to meet Dave and try to sell him. I'm like, easy. I'm used to that. And the first one went very well. And I thought that, looking back at it, I was probably on purpose because I walked into the second one and I was like, just slapped in the face. The presentations are very difficult, but they prepare you for what's going out there in the real world, which is nothing as hard as what you did, to where it definitely preps us to be ready to go out there.
But if you ever encountered
I can
difficult situations, you know how to handle
I can
it.
counter
Right?
a little bit. Yeah, I can with you, me with someone like you. But yeah, again, back to your point, difficult situation, I can definitely manage it and handle it. But yeah, that was tough. That was tough. I'm just thinking about that.
I
Yeah.
remember one instance that was really rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't tell everybody on
It's
camera,
between me and
but
you, yeah, we get.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Harrison, what about you? What was your worst part of the JA program? I think I know, but I want to hear it on camera.
Yeah, I mean, the presentations were tough for me. I was the nail and you were the hammer. It was a necessary
Every week.
For what, 24 weeks, dreading coming in on Wednesday afternoons.
Oh yeah.
But
But you got better and better.
I got a lot better, and I kind of remember like my breakthrough moment was Dave and I were sitting in the conference room after one of the better ones at the beginning, and Dave looked at me and goes, "Why are you so tense? Why do you care so much?" And that was like a light bulb moment for me that obviously you care when you go into those, but it's not life or death. As long as you have your health and your family, you're going to be okay. You lose one pitch, it's not the end of the world. And when I took that kind of mindset into it, it really propelled me forward. And I feel like I got a lot better compounding every week after that.
You did.
I feel like I kind of
because
stagnated.
You loosened up.
Hmm.
Part of it is just being around people and relating,
Yeah.
right?
And I stopped clicking my pen so much.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Yeah. He nipped that in the bud real quick.
Yeah. What about you?
Presentations were definitely, those were, I mean, you would say this is what you need to know for the presentation. We'd go in, it would be something completely different. So I'd have no idea, like, oh, this is an industrial project. And then it would turn into, oh, we need, 60 to 70% office. How much is this going to cost to build out? And being a month in, I'm like, I have no idea. And then I'd try to make something up. And then you'd be like, why are you lying? So then I'm back tracing myself. Like, I have no idea I have no idea what's going on. But that definitely prepared me, for the real world and, door knocking and going to see people in person. Like that prepares you for that too, because you never know what to expect.
Because the reason of the program is to get you guys at least educated on everything. So when you're out there making your phone calls or out there pounding on the doors and meeting new people, you're representing Lee and Associates, right? And the last thing we want is phone calls from somebody going, yeah, there's some nitwit here, doesn't know anything about anything, calling me. Why are you letting these people do that? And at least we know after you graduate from the program, you know enough to really start being dangerous and learning your craft very, very quickly. So there is a reason to the madness for sure. And you?
I
What was
think
yours?
it goes back to what I was saying earlier with like, I'm not sometimes have issues with patience where you have to, and during the program, you're kind of anxious to want to get out and start making money and building your pipeline and, moving
Yeah, you're
towards
like
that
a
next
wild
step.
Mustang trying to get out of the
exactly.
pen.
Even though you're appreciating what you're getting into and what you're doing right then, you want to get going. And so having that patience and actually taking it all in and truly getting the most out of it and learning as much as you possibly can from the program while you're in it, I think that was the hardest part, was just being able to stay focused on learning right now as opposed to building.
Yeah, you're never going to get this opportunity ever again in that setting. So why not take advantage of it?
Exactly.
All righty, let's move on. Court. Well, we already talked to you. Will, what is your favorite meal?
You looked at him. You looked at him and said my name.
I was just seeing how you were going to react.
Oh,
you looked at him.
I know this is like a
talked to
presentation,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Chicken Alfredo.
What's your favorite meal
Chicken Alfredo.
at the holidays?
Chicken Alfredo's a holiday. That's close, right?
Okay, not ham or turkey or cranberries. Or...
Chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
All times of the year.
What about you for the holidays?
I would say it has to be turkey, and then when it comes to dessert, banana bread.
Ooh.
I love banana bread. My grandma makes great banana bread. So,
Can Grandma make us some banana bread?
Grandma, can you make us some banana bread, please?
Please, Grandma. Please, Grandma. We like banana bread.
Yeah, we'll send her this video, and she'll probably send us like 12 of them.
I love it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite meal?
Well, if we're going favorite meals over the
Holidays.
holidays,
Yes.
prime rib.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
prime rib for sure, hands down.
With
I don't know. I love mashed potatoes.
Gravy.
I guess.
yeah, does it have gravy in it?
Gravy.
A
100%.
juice?
Au jus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good
Rolls.
stuff. Yeah. All
What do
the
you
above.
drink?
What do I drink? Probably a beer and an old fashioned.
Really?
Yeah.
At dinner?
If I'm eating prime rib, yeah.
Oh.
Well, maybe that's red wine. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I don't discriminate on drinks.
You don't.
No, not at all.
I've seen you. You pretty much drink whatever's there. Yes.
Yeah. I'm easy going.
Sweet potato pie
Sweet potato pie in Portland?
in Portland.
Wow.
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nothing else?
Turkey, stuffing.
White
mac and
or red?
cheese. Red. Turkey, mac and cheese.
Is it red turkey
No,
or is it dark?
dark.
Oh, but it's red.
This is like presentations.
I'm just joshing. What about you?
You asked me already. Alfredo, chicken Alfredo. You think I'm gonna change my mind by the time you get back over here?
I'm losing my mind.
Davis.
Oh, Davis, he likes snow, right?
He just eats marshmallows. That's all he eats.
Marshmallows.
Yeah. Gingerbread, marshmallow.
Do marshmallows freeze?
It's a good question. I'll have to talk to Davis about it after.
Have you ever froze a marshmallow?
No.
Well, you had Rocky Road ice cream, right? That was frozen.
No. Is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Just asking.
I have no idea.
Fake it till you make it. Is that what you're doing right now?
Right?
Okay. Harrison, what is the one thing that your elders told you when you were young that applies to you today? Well, that's a nice question.
I mean,
Yeah, I got you stumped.
yeah, I mean, I think about a lot of different things that I've heard or been told, but I think this goes, again, it goes back to my grandfather. He always told us, as someone who had his own company, was an entrepreneur himself, that you have to be patient, which does not run in our family, but he always told us that patience is important. And as long as you treat your clients and your customers well, the money will come later. And that is something that I'm constantly reminded of every time I see him, and is something that stuck with me for a long time. And it kind of helps to counteract the impatience that came through his DNA, which is good because in this business, like Corda said, you have to be patient because we're not in this for instant gratification. Like we're in this for the long haul.
Well, you are.
Well,
But it-
I mean,
it
in a
doesn't-
perfect world,
it doesn't
yes.
work that way.
Yes, in a perfect world, we all close, 50 deals a year and make $10 million. But
No, 50 million.
okay, 50 million, whatever the number is. But okay, 100 million, you got me.
Okay.
But yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
But it's not realistic. That's 1 in 10 million people do something like that in their first year. And so I think that the message of, treat your clients and customers well and the money will come
Totally agree.
is something that should be said by more people. It should be known by more.
I think you're absolutely right. For sure.
Yeah, that's done.
Sal, what about you?
One thing my mom told me is like, be the light you want to see in the world. So be that person for somebody, be that person for your family, be that person for your brothers. If you're not happy with what's going on outside of us, learn how to be the person you wish to see on the other end. And that's just as simple as treating people with respect, being open-minded,
Be the light, not the dark.
be the light. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Love that. Mom, that was a great lesson there for your son. You? You gotta have something. I know it. I know you're waiting.
It comes from it's your business, Inc.
Ooh.
We mentioned that earlier, but that's something that really sticks with me. And your reputation is your only thing pretty much when you're going out in the real world. And if you ruin your
You have
reputation,
a good reputation.
I think I have a good reputation.
You think you do?
I know I do.
Oh.
I have a great reputation.
Uh-huh.
Changed up a little bit there, but yeah, I think your reputation
That
carries you a
reputation
long way.
was what you learned from your elders.
You,
Oh, me?
yeah.
Oh,
James only 23.
yeah.
I guess you're not elder
I
than
just aged so much from you guys. What'd you learn from your elders?
Foundation.
Foundation.
Always stick to your foundation.
What's your foundation?
My foundation is faith, family, and friends. And if you always stick to that, then nothing else really matters. I mean, I always make the joke of it's just money. And if you keep it kind of lighthearted,
It's funny you say that. When I was a little kid, I don't know, I spent something and my dad said, "Hey, you need to save your money or whatever." And I said, "Nah, it's just money. I can make more of it." And when he was 80 something years old, he would say, "I still remember when you used to say that."
it's just money.
It's just
You can
money.
ask Tyler.
Money is a means to an end. It's not the end all.
It's not. And as long as you got your foundation, you got your faith, you got your family, you got your friends. I mean,
All right.
money can help, but
Well, I have faith in this next generation. That's impressive. We're almost done. You guys have done so well. What do you want to do in 2026? Personal.
just be more organized, not just with,
Well, that I would agree on.
but everything outside of work. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So just trying to be more organized with the outside world and also in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think we all have that issue.
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I need to be more organized. I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm learning something from you.
Less reactionary, but if I'm organized,
I'm
and plan
never
ahead,
reactionary.
I want to stop being reactionary.
You are?
A bit, yeah. Can be.
We are human, though.
Yeah.
So give yourself some grace.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, yeah. Said that last week. Yeah.
Uh huh. You? Personal.
For me, I think it ties back to what you guys just talked about and what you and I have talked about a handful of times is sometimes I just need to be a little nicer to myself when it comes to the business world and the pace that I'm moving at. And again, my impatience.
Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
So I often forget that I'm not even 2 years into this, and sometimes it's hard to see what other people are doing, what other people are working on, how successful other people have been, no matter what stage in their career they might be, and not compare yourself to it. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me that I've been trying to focus on and will continue to focus on.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And you?
say getting better with balance. I mean, we're all very work heavy right now, very occupationally heavy because we need to be if we want to get where we want to go. But at the same time, it's, you got to remember that you're living life and we're still young, and we need to enjoy life while we're young and go out and have a good time and spend time with our family and remember what really matters. That's not to be said, not to be confused with not working hard, but remembering to stay balanced.
Balance. It's huge in this business. God, great answers.
Well, I'm hoping by the end of next year to run a marathon.
You're hoping
I'm working on it. I'm working.
you
on
will
it.
be.
I will be running.
You will
marathon
run a
at the end of
marathon.
next year. So I think
Which one?
I'm not sure yet. I just know I'm going to be doing it.
No.
I do need to sign up for one, but
Okay, so you guys are gonna hold him to it, right?
I'll do it with
record
him.
this, Caleb. Well, sorry.
Caleb, I'm joining him. I'll do it too.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
I was gonna do it if you jumped in too.
No, my knees can't handle that. I'll do some kind of weightlifting.
Okay, so we got 2 marathoners.
Yeah, so I believe in putting yourself in a hard situation, and continuing to put yourself into hard situations is something that will, make life so much more simple. And you'd be such a happier person if you continue to put yourself in hard situations. So, and I think all of us signed up for that when we started, where we're at now. A year ago, 2 years ago, I think continue to put yourself and challenge yourself will make you a more successful person.
Wow. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully
Hopefully.
in an exterior window office here in this exact office building, in this exact floor.
And why is that important?
Well, I mean, for one thing, it goes back to, I can't remember exactly who said it earlier, but we have very much a family atmosphere here, and it makes it easier to come to work every day, but it also makes you almost have an obligation, not just to yourself, but to the other people in the office to do what you're supposed to do and produce in the way you're supposed to. Because, I mean, yes, we work together, we're all friends, and we hang out outside of work. And, if I'm slacking, he's going to tell me I'm slacking. And if I'm not covering what I should be covering, they're going to tell me. And it, in one way, shape, or form, hopefully we're all partners one day, will affect all of us. And so, I don't plan on going anywhere because I like how we do things here, and I like the way that we have everything set up. So, hopefully 5 years from now, I'm in your office.
Nice. I like that. What about you?
I want to be known as the best industrial broker in the Southeast.
In the Southeast.
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Just working hard, retaining as much information as possible, and meeting as many people, and opening myself up to more opportunities with business. So that's where I plan to be.
Okay. You?
I want to be able to make sure that I'm providing as much value as possible to the team that I'm on. And I also personally, hope to have a family and, be able to support them financially because I've been successful in the business that we're all in.
Okay. Very nice.
Just want to make sure I'm, happy and successful doing what I'm doing here, and make sure that I am the light that I am for my family back home, to kind of challenge them, or challenge my little brother, or challenge my older brother, that if you work hard, you can actually make something out of yourself. So
If you believe,
if you believe,
you will achieve.
you'll achieve. So yeah,
Right.
yep.
Okay.
hmm
I think we're about finished up. Is there any thing that you guys want to say as we finish our holiday get together? First of all, I want to say something. I'm very proud of each and every one of you. I personally have watched you four grow into fine young men. And I know it's been hard. It's supposed to be hard. This is not an easy business to be in. And you guys have been very open to constructive criticism and learning. And the partners and everybody in the office like and enjoy you. You guys are contributors to the office. And it's a pleasure to work with each one of you each and every day. And of course, you should know this by now. If there's anything that I can do to help you guys, I'm there to do that. But happy holidays. Thank you for viewing us and viewing our show and our podcast this year. It's been certainly out of my comfort zone, but I've also learned a lot about myself and a lot about the people that I'm working with. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
And so that we look forward to seeing you again in 2026. Goodbye.